let's talk about GKS, or the Global Career Scholarship Program in 2025. I've been posting a lot of videos about the scholarship in this past few weeks, and this is in line with the upcoming application for the Global Career Scholarship Program Graduate Studies on February 2025. And I decided to make a video to refresh everyone what this scholarship about, and to redo the video I did back in 2021 when I started making videos for students like me who were applying for the scholarship back then. And in this video, I'll be giving you a rundown of the scholarship program, some of the eligibility requirements, the documents to submit, and technically what are the things you can do to gain competitive advantage and to secure that scholarship this upcoming 2025. So let's start. Global Career Scholarship Program, or GKS, is the annual scholarship program from the government of South Korea to invite students to study in South Korea, be it on different tracks. So GKS has two programs. The undergraduate, which is held usually on October, opened on October, and then the graduates program for Masters and PhD opening this coming February. So I think you've heard about the different tracks for GKS, and it's quite simple to understand. There are two tracks, embassy track and university track. Just think of it this way. The first institution that will receive your document is the type of track that you'll be going forward with. So if you send your documents to the embassy, your embassy track. If you send it directly to the Korean university, it's university track. Very simple. They have different timelines that I'll be discussing in the next future videos, but just to simply put, there are two tracks for GKS. And you are eligible to apply for the scholarship if you have completed bachelor's degree. So you're eligible for the graduates program, master's, if you have completed your bachelor's degree. Likewise, if you are applying for PhD, you must have completed your bachelor's and master's degree. And there's an age limit, so 40 years old or younger, but extended for those who are in the academe or professors or educators until 45 years old. And then this is very big issue for a lot of people, especially the grades. So the grades at least 80% or higher. So some people are asking, what if I have only 79%? Even if it's only one, it makes you ineligible to apply for the scholarship. So that's a very important thing for you to know. And if you are on the lower than the 80% grade requirement, you can still apply for the scholarship if you can prove that you're part of the top 20%. So if you can request from your university that you are part of the top 20% and they can provide the certificate for that, then you're good to go. And then another requirement for you to eligibility that you need to know is about the citizenship. You are not a Korean citizenship. You're not a Korean citizen, or even your parents. So that's one thing you have to take note of. And then the additional one is that you have not received GKS E20, previous GKS scholar. So that's one thing. And then moving on with the documents, they are relatively the same, but just to give you an update, required documents, diploma and transcript, they have to be apostilled. So the academic documents have to be apostilled. Proof of citizenship, passport or birth certificate. I think the birth certificate should be apostilled if you're planning to submit the birth certificate. But the passport, you cannot give your passport, just a copy of it is enough. And then language certificate is also very important nowadays, and I'll tell you more about that later. And other certificates, including your academic achievements, your leadership roles, if you have certificates, I think just submit it. Even if the value of those certificates are not as big as it usually is, but I think there are more changes now that you have to know, and the more is technically becoming the better for GKS, and I'll tell you more later. And the fifth is the essays. So personal statements, statement of purpose, those are very important. And I'm moving on with why GKS is hard in 2025. I'm part of this Facebook group for GKS, and they are discussing about those students who didn't make the cut. And one of the students stood out when I was browsing, when she was sharing the content, and she was like, I had 98% grade, I had 45 certificates submitted, I had leadership awards, blah blah blah. But the only thing is that applicant lacked was the language certificate, the topic. And then the university actually sent an email, and the university said it's not because of your race, it's not because of your grade, it's because you lacked the language proficiency, made you ineligible, or not make the university choose other students aside from the one posting in Facebook. And that's one thing, because language certificates are actually not required documents. But with the changes of how competitive the GKS in 2025, I think it's a wise decision for you to include language certificates. So what could be a language certificate? They only consider IELTS, TOEFL, and TOPIK. IELTS, TOEFL for English, and then TOPIK for Korean language proficiency. There are other language certificates that you can acquire from like King Sejong or Coursera, but those are not legitimate language certificates. So I think if you can secure, here's our strategy. If you want to get GKS in 2025, if you can get TOPIK score, submit the TOPIK score. If you don't have TOPIK score, at least get the language certificate, TOEFL or IELTS. If you cannot secure both, get King Sejong certificate or Coursera. At least you submit something. That's very important, because GKS now, it's very competitive, that even small details can actually make other students stand out and you not selected. And in 2025, I've been mentioning about the certificates, that they have different values, but I think it's becoming the better in GKS. So a lot of students would have limited number of certificates. That's why they got rejected. And there are students who submit tremendous amount of certificates, boosting their chances. But again, it's still all about choosing the right certificates, because I won't be submitting, since I'm Master's in Business Administration student, I will not be submitting something related to medicine, because that's very different from what I'm applying for. But all related to business, like business competition, case study competition, these things I participated into, I'll be adding them if I'll be applying this year. And that's very important nowadays. A lot of proof evidences, be it certificates, grades, are now the game changers for GKS. And this last segment of the video is actually very important, because it provides you information. It provides information about the package itself. So the GKS provides tuition fee support. So for master student, only for 2 years, extended until like 5 semesters or 1 year and a half, 2 years and a half. For PhD, it's only 3 years, and I think they can extend the support until your extension of 1 semester. But the monthly allowance is only limited for 2 years for masters and 3 years for PhD, and that's it. And then flight ticket and health insurance and other activities here in South Korea. So it's a quick rundown of what I posted in 2021. Relatively, nothing has changed, but a lot of requirements were added. And if you enjoy this video, if you have a lot of questions about GKS, just write them in the comment section. Will reply and give you an update and post about it. You don't need to directly message me, because I think the comment section is a better place for us to discuss, because other students might be interested with the same question you have, and it's easier for me to answer one question that other people see it, instead of answering 10 different people with the same kinds of questions. I hope that makes sense. And if you want to know more about how I wrote my personal statement, the statement of purpose, I pinned them in my bio. You may check them out and see the structure and how the mind mapping works. And if you really like this video, share and heart this video. Send this to your friends who might be interested to apply for the scholarship. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.